Listen, I had to turn back on the camera. I'm so tired. I want to sleep right now. But watch here. Look at this. Alyssa destroy the steak. Wagwan, wagwan, what's great? Welcome back to the channel. If you're new here, welcome and thank you very much for stopping by. My name is Chef Adrian Morris and you're watching Morris Time Cooking. As seen in the title, yes, it's been a long while. Today I'll be making some steak. Yes, I'm a steak enthusiast and I've been on here over 4 years, and can you believe it? I've never made a steak video before. I did not even call to mind. But today, I'm going to be making myself some steak. I feel a bit peckish. It's almost 10 p.m. And I'm like, okay, let me make a steak and just show you while I'm at it. So if you want to learn how to make a steak, I know you may know how to make a steak, but just a few tips you can pick up from this video and apply them to your steak making, right? So after the intro, we get right into it.
We know about sardine, mackerel, chicken neck, chicken back. Nothing I waste, nothing I dash way.
So yes, as I said before, steak is nothing new. You see steaks every day, but this is the Morris Time way. I like to make my steak like this on some special occasions, and today is one of those occasions. So listen, look, and you'll learn at least a tip or two to take away and add to your steak making, right? I have right here an 8-ounce sirloin steak. It's about a ½ inch thick, right? So the first thing you want to do is to ensure that this is out of the fridge for at least half an hour. Why? Because if you take the cold steak from the fridge, drop it in the hot pan, chances are, not even chances, it's just going to get dark on the outside, burn up real quick, and inside is going to be dry out. We don't want that. So first thing, remove that steak from the refrigerator, leave it on your countertop for about half an hour at minimum, right? And that will make your steak nice. Secondly, trim whatever fats off the steak, right? And leave a bit of fat on there because that's flavor. You see me? Thirdly, you want to get like a paper towel and pot dry that steak. We don't want the steak to be wet because oil and water doesn't mix. So thirdly, you're going to pot dry that steak and have it looking nice and dry like that. Now we have cast iron. Cast iron is a pot of choice. You see me? My pan is already heating up. So drizzle a little bit of oil on the steak and we're going to rub that in. Make sure that steak is nice and dry. And I'm going to go in with some flaky salt. So because this steak is a nice big steak, I'm going to go in with a good amount. You can season to taste at this point. Generous amount because as I said, it's a thick steak. Turn that over and repeat. And whatever is there, we just dab the sides to get that excess salt, right? I'm gonna hit that with a little bit of oil. I'm using vegetable oil. You can use olive oil if you want. High smoke point oil is good, like your avocado oil. So about a tablespoon and a half of oil, just enough to baste the bottom of that pan. And as I said, the pan is already hot. So once the pan is slightly smoking, that's when you're gonna pop the steak in. That's what you want to hear, that nice sizzle. Kind of squeeze it down a bit to ensure that everything is touching the pan. And we're not going to move this until about a minute on each side. We want to get a nice crust on this steak. Ooh, smells so great already. The salt starts to melt into the meat. So temperature wise now, I like my steak medium rare. So that's with a little bit of blood in there. You know what I say? Some people may say that's gross, chef. You know what? The thing with steak is the outside of the steak is where the germs is. So once you sear that off, all the germs is gone. The inside has no bacteria. Not germs, bacteria. So all the bacteria, ground beef, when you ground up the beef, all the bacteria gets intertwined. So with the ground beef, you have to cook ground beef all the way. With steaks, you don't have to because all the bacteria is on the outside of the steak. So once you sear that off, it's no longer there. The inside is safe to eat once it reaches a cooked temperature. So for medium, for a rare steak, you want to be at least 140 degrees Fahrenheit. For your medium, you want to be 155, and for your well, 170 thereabout, right? Flip that over now. Look at that. Nice crust. Get that extra oil back. So a minute on that side, the crust is looking nice. And we'll drop that, squeeze that down. And as I said, Another way how you can test your steak, you can use the palm, so your finger right here. So one finger you squeeze, that is, you squeeze one finger, that's medium, that's rare. Second finger, that's medium. Third finger, well done. So the firmness of the steak, right? We're gonna hit that now with a bit of fresh thyme and some fresh rosemary. In with a few garlic cloves, we're gonna add butter. This is gonna give our steak some nice flavor, right? And you want to wash your thyme and your rosemary ahead of time. Your thyme and your rosemary ahead of time. Because you don't want it, and then pat dry those. You don't want them to be wet, because wet oil and water doesn't go well. Garlic is cooking, rosemary is cooking, bringing flavor, the thyme, that's what we want. So grab a clean, ooh, that smells nice. What you want to do at this point, you're gonna baste the steak now. So while that side is cooking, you're bringing some flavor onto the top as well as to cook it, right? Yes, no man. Almost at my temperature. I don't keep my steak on for more than 4 to 5 minutes. So for the side of the steak now, take that up. I like to crust up the side of my steak. Get that crust going. I'll eat my steak medium at most, but medium rare is where I like to go. Alright, that's good to go. I'm going to hit that now with my onion and mushroom. So I'm using about half an onion and 3 white mushrooms. Toss that around. Lower the flame. So we're just going to saute these nicely. And we'll rest the steak for the same time. So we've been cooking it for 5 minutes. We'll rest the steak for 5 minutes. And you leave it on a plate to sit in its juices. And what that will do would reabsorb all of that juice to make your steak nice and juicy. So real quick, I'm going to remove the thyme. We got the flavor from these. Don't want this in our sauce. And remove the rosemary. The mushroom, the garlic and the onion smells so great, man. What I'm going to do now, hit that with a little bit of salt, season to taste. Peppercorn right here. About a teaspoon, I'm going to crush that. Crush it lightly. And then drop the peppercorn. Remember, it's a peppercorn steak, right? Mix that in. I like the big chunks of the peppercorn in there. And immediately, that with some red wine. About a 1/4 cup to deglaze the pan. You leave this on high to absorb most of the alcohol to give us a nice rich flavor. So just leave that just like that. Smelling good, man. So you may be wondering, Chef, why did you only season the steak with salt? If I had done pepper on there, it would have burned quickly in the pan. Pepper burns easily in the oil, right? So that's why I just added the salt. And after all, I added a lot of peppercorns to the sauce. So hence I'll get that pepper to make up for the one that is not on the steak. You know what I'm saying? This is absorbing nicely. You just want this to reduce to more than half. Little to nothing. So all the onion is absorbing the red wine, the mushrooms. Listen to me now, man. This smells so great. And the steak is resting right now. I have some mashed potato going over there. And I'm going to turn on my asparagus right now. Yeah. Yes. So this is what you want to see. A massive reduction in the wine. And you realize how nice and fully glazed and absorbed these are. All flavor. It's like you almost have a syrup, right? And we're going to hit that now with some beef broth or beef stock, whichever name you call it. And about 1/4 cup. Right in there. Mix that around. And you keep this on high. Allow it to come to a boil. You don't need a lot of salt or anything. The pepper is in there. The red wine, it tastes great. And you let this reduce to half the amount until it's a little bit thicker. You know what I'm saying? And you have a nice sauce for your steak. Or you can do like me and add a little, you know, I always add a little surprise to things. I have a bit of heavy cream. Or I can use half and half. I'm just going to add that to there. About 2 tablespoons. Boom. This is going to bring it to a whole new level. As I said, you could have left the steak just as is with the red wine and the beef broth. But I like to add a little bit of surprise element. You add that cream in there. We're just gonna allow this now to boil up and reduce to half the amount. And we have a beautiful sauce for a steak. Let's go. And there we go. There we go. As I said, you don't have to add that cream if you don't want to. You can just keep the beef broth as well as the red wine. You see me? And this is a beautiful, delicious sauce. Let me just dig right in. Oh, man. Steak has been resting. That's how I like my steak. Nice and pink. That's how I eat my steak. Don't judge me. Have it your way. Like Burger King. Get some mushroom on here. Eat the asparagus.
How do you stop holding me raw? Oh, Jesus.
Whatever if your steak soft or tough.
Nice and soft.
Steak soft, eh?
I really like that soft.
Remember, say you don't want me, you just want tasty.
No, you said you asked me if I wanted some, and I said yeah.
Yeah, go on like a little picky when we come to school without lunch money.
It's so annoying.
This is her. I'd say I want some of the sauce.
Can I chili?
Alright, Alyssa, come.
I can have no more?
You say you just want
wrong.
tasty, man?
Where's some?
Why me and her always argue over food? She must spit out the whole like peppercorn. I see how that piece of garlic can taste.
A whole one? A whole garlic?
I'm cooking up.
Let me try.
Like you taste like garlic. Because it
Oh wow.
soaked, it infused with the red wine. The garlic.
That's really good.
If the garlic become nice and sweet. I don't want anything, so I fight over food. But honestly, every time I cook, it's literally my dinner because they eat already.
I've seen another piece of the meat. I didn't get much of the meat.
And the meat done? Jesus.
The other potato that's there?
Yeah, remember
Damn,
saying?
that sauce is so good.
That's it, my friend. Don't judge me. This is how I eat my steak. As I said, all the bacteria is on the outside. Once you sear it off, it all goes away. The inside of the meat is perfectly fine. I know my Caribbean people are going to come for me, but hey, this is how I eat my steak. So if you did enjoy this video, don't forget to give it a thumbs up. If you got a few pointers from this video, don't forget to give it a thumbs up as well. Comment below what were your takeaways from this video, and don't forget to subscribe and leave in the comments what you like to see next. I feel tired, but me have a beat off the steak right now. You know what I say? So once again, thank you very much for watching. Until next time, safe travel upon the gravel, and go and big up on yourself. Listen, I had to turn back on the camera. I'm so tired. I want to sleep right now. But watch here. Look at this. Alyssa destroy the steak.